Basically, mind over Prime Enlightenment. Therefore, Nirvana profit. You operate mind. Mind means all earth, include all form world. In form world, you know, form is emptiness. The form is emptiness means that emptiness over. You know, heaven is emptiness, God is emptiness, justice is emptiness, everything empty. The emptiness over, the called heaven and God over. Nirvana daylight, that's called supreme enlightenment. That's Anuttara Samya Sambhava. You ought to be, that's called state of art. God, genuine God means bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas. Bodhi means enlightened. Sattva means prajna, wisdom knowledge. Bodhichuri, mind definition is bodhichuri, right? Bodhi means God, enlightened, and then churi means, what is it?
Mind.
Not necessary. Mind okara, mind over. Mind is emptiness. Mind form. Form is emptiness. As long as you meaning mind is general hospital as well as numberless prescriptions. That's mind form of this. Unless you get over that, you belong to prescription and belong to hospital. General hospital, everything there, include general store, corner store. That means you gotta get over. Otherwise, there's no such things prime enlightenment. Also, there are no such things nirvana profit, nirvana police. And the second one, you gotta get over emptiness. Emptiness means you don't see it. Any science unable to research because unable to see it. There's no cause network to emptiness. That emptiness called general meaning, there's heaven and God. That means you've got to get over that in order to operate them. They don't operate you, you operate them when you're enlightened. They're called Nirvana daylight. Daylight? The daylight. They're called the supreme enlightenment. That's called altogether Anuttara Samya Sambhava. In order to clearly understanding the beginning, 12 causality first. 12 causality. Would you like to have some?
I can recite them, but I know what you're referring to.
Science, they try to figure out they can. But according to Chinese I Ching, I Ching, Chinese I Ching, that's hexagram. Korean flag, the four-cornered hexagram. That's the I Ching hexagram. Because this Confucius 500 years to control the Korea dynasty, and the end of the dynasty lost to Japan. Japan invaded because they fell in that. Therefore, if you like to know, I tell you how to tell fortune teller, whole your lifetime, what is happening sequence, the end of what happening, and then that will. I got right again. You know that or not?
Yes.
The state of God, genuine meaning of God means four, right? No ego, Atman, Atman. Brahman or Vedas or Upanishad, Atman. Atman, there are no such things. Form, there's form called. If there's form, we don't call the God. Second, personality. If there's personality form, then we don't call that God. We don't call bodhisattvas. Bodhisattva means God. Yeah. And then being, exists, there is God. That's not God. If there is, there's name, there's God, forms. Third. Fourth, there's no such separate individuality. Emptiness means you cannot divide it. The fourth state, that's called genuine meaning of the God. If anything connected to this, we don't call the God, we don't call bodhisattvas. Dharma Sutra, Buddha says so very clearly. If there is ego, there's personality, there's being, there's separate individuality. That's not bodhisattvas. We don't call bodhisattva, we don't call the God. Therefore, the body of God is emptiness, and body of heaven is emptiness. Therefore, heaven and God over Nirvana, daylight. And they call it supreme enlightenment. Therefore, you operate heaven and God. Enlightenment one operates. Get it? And then, if you like to know the 12 causality, we have a large paper here, inside there. Can get anybody?
You need paper?
Yeah, paper in the bullpen. Because in order to be Zen Master, you gotta tell personal history from no beginning, from your ancient, no beginning to yourself, your parents, yourself, and your future, your new generations. That's, if you know, you call it fortune teller. If you know it, it's wisdom matters. You get it? No. Zen Master course, you gotta study it, otherwise, no way to accept them. But January, February, how many months there?
12.
Huh?
12 months.
Not 13.
Well, not any.
Not
thing I
14.
know.
Out of the modern technology using this November, I write that Chinese shows about animals, animal science,
Zodiac.
right?
Mhm.
In the November means 2 fingers, 1, right? 2 finger means we call it mice. You know mice? Click.
Oh, yes.
Click mice.
Mouse.
Huh?
Mouse.
Mouse.
Computer mouse.
Mouse. You click. And then what do you see?
Me.
Click is
Everything.
navigation. What do you want at that point? Click it, get information come up. Nanosecond. That means November. Out of 12 months, number 1 month is November. You get it?
No.
Chinese people don't know.
Very easy for an American Indian to think that way. That's when the
That's the
American
same,
Indian New
yes,
Year
same.
starts.
It's according to lunar calendar, this one.
Yeah.
When you look at 10,000 calendars book, at that time, what year, 1940 you born, that year, lunar calendar, what sign come out. And what called the four pillars, not 3 pillars. This one year and the month and the day, time. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. You have that, right? What year you born? What month you born? What day you born? What time you born? Usually people don't know, only your mother told you or husband told you. This you gotta know. Unless you know that, you cannot qualify the being Zen Master. Zen Master means Nirvana, daylight. Daylight. How become daylight? You don't know?
We already are a daylight, aren't we?
Huh?
We already are daylight. We are just
You are,
unaware
yes,
of
but
it.
how?
Meditate.
Get over emptiness.
Get over empty. Yeah, I told you.
Yes.
Get over heaven and God. Unless you get over God, you just slave of God. God step on your tail. And the whole lifetime, there's no choice. God tell you, if you're dead, God tell you go heaven. No such things. That's liars. Absolutely cybers we call it. You know cyber?
Yeah.
Stealing. Stealing truth. And then November, December, ox. You get it? Do you know what ox is? It's not water buffalo.
Mind.
It's the
Huh?
vehicle.
Mind.
Yeah, every animal you show up, animal has characters. I'll tell you later. Yeah, and they got November, December, and January. It's called the tiger, right? February called
Rabbit.
bunny.
Funny.
Huh?
Rabbit. Funny.
Okay, funny.
Small rabbit. Funny.
Huh? And then March,
Dragon.
dragon, right? That's good. Dragon.
Snake.
April, snake.
Snake.
You know, right? May, horse, right?
The horse.
How do you know?
I remembered the
you
sequence
remember-
of the years now
Correct.
that we've been going through.
You know, you're born in the United States, the previous your lifetime, what you figure out, you will know right away this sign, character too. You don't know this, you cannot tell 12 causality well enough. Usually 12 causality to go three, you put him on the four nobles, and three means precepts, and then samadhi, and then wisdom. Usually they describe their way. They don't know this chart, original chart. We call the original chart. If you don't know it, no consider it. Then you figure the entire universal, what time this earth disappeared. Sooner or later, any planet possible disappeared. This kind of you figure out. And the horse. In June, called goat, or what mountain goat.
Mountain goat.
Huh?
Mountain goat.
Mountain goat. We call it mountain goat. Monkey. July is monkey. You know monkey?
Oh yes. We
And I
often
actually
refer
use
to my
monkey a
son
lot. They
as
kill
a
him.
monkey baby, yes. He's born in July.
And August is
Rat?
huh?
Maybe the rat? Where does the rat come?
The cock,
Okay, the rooster. The rooster, yes.
rooster.
Rooster.
Called country rooster, or what?
Male chicken, right? Rooster.
Male chicken. All right.
Used to,
And
Dog.
September.
Dog.
Huh?
Dog.
Dog, right? This dog is not put on head. This dog has
Yes,
put on
good
it.
nature.
It's not chasing. The character. Next time we gotta this in. You could figure out. Tiger means tiger character. Oh, the mice first. Sorry. Mice character. It's called treasure. You know treasure.
What happened to October?
Oh, yes,
Huh?
October.
What happened to October?
Pig.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's a
that's
we last one.
Pig.
October called hog. You know called hog.
Pig, maybe?
Pig.
No,
Pig?
Red.
Hog.
red skin hog.
It would, yeah,
Right.
hog.
Hog.
Hawk.
No.
Hawk or hog?
Hog. I think it's pig. Hog.
Yeah, we don't call pig. Pig is a
Oh,
different slang.
oh, okay.
Oh.
Pig is slang. Hog instead. Red skin hog, right? We have tail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, genuine. Mice means treasure. You know treasure? Gold, diamond, seven of treasures. Right? And ox character. You got to figure out it that way, otherwise you cannot master it.
I always thought the ox was the mind, but
Does
no.
it
No.
mean non-duality?
Ox, non-duality,
The horns are duality, but the ox's head is non-duality.
yeah, therefore, or ox, character of ox is,
Sincere.
you know, good and bad, it's called bad. Bad, opposite good. You know, this called duality was,
Duality?
yeah, duality was good and bad, duality.
Mhm.
So the character of the ox is duality?
Form, any form of
Form, any
duality.
form, okay.
12
I see.
forms, all the duality, mind matters. We feel 12 causality in mind world.
Mm.
Unless you tell you, if you keep in yourself, what year you're going to end up hospital time, what year you got a prescription, hang on prescription, what year you, on the days, fetal ignorance. We call the fetal hole, the hell. Form is emptiness. Emptiness means that number one emptiness. Number two emptiness, diamond parajuna paramita. Number two. That's what we're practicing. And number three, nirvana. Nirvana means forever. There's no such thing as duality, no such thing even fortune. This is get over. That's why I just written and telling you. You gotta figure out. Anybody come out, you put him on here, the chart come out, their life style, what life, what age. Some people they try to have money, they cannot have money. Some people even have money, they cannot have a healthy body or healthy mind. All this to come up with this chart.
So the person born a year from mice, and also born in November, that person do not have to be wealthy. Is that right?
Yeah, it depends on everybody different.
Okay.
What time you're born, that's very, very important too.
That's another 12.
Eh?
That's another 12. What time you're born, right? 24
Another
hours divided by 12.
12, you got to, this statistic ways, you chart come out.
Right,
They put him on 4 hexagrams.
right.
Yeah, you count. Even Chinese people, each master of eating, they don't have to read 4 hexagrams because they don't master of Zen. You know, Nirvana daylight. Once you earn it, Nirvana daylight, earn it, this your entire lifetime come out. Also your new generation lifetime come out. Everybody's. This is very important. So some people, this fortune tellers no need to study. Even if you don't study, you gotta know it. Bad things, you never happen bad things, but you never know. No guarantee. Something you fell in bad part, how to get out. That's what the chart says. Even if you stay in hell, how to get out to heaven. If there is heaven or hell. No such things, but the hallucinations, but you can figure out by the chart.
Are we talking about Asian astrology here? And if so,
This is not astrology.
it's not, it's, no, okay.
Statistic reality. Tell causality.
So it's not dependent on the stars.
There is NIH or there is no NIH. There is, all right? You
There
cannot
is
deny it.
As a concept, I mean,
Yes, concept,
it's a
yes.
concept,
Concept is still there.
yeah.
Doesn't matter concept or ignorance, either way. There is who have ignorance person, I'm ill, and the NIH give prescription, they get well,
True, okay.
right?
Are we saying here, I'm trying to put it all together, if you get over God, you get over emptiness,
Yes,
you know a person's birth date, and you can predict his future, is that,
not protecting,
it's there?
statistic, right here.
Okay, and what does the time of birth have to do with this? I understood some of the other.
Time of birth,
Time of
You-
day,
you
time
got-
of day.
eh?
The time of day for the birth. Well, you said the time the person is born, the time in the day.
Right, yeah, day, yeah.
Is it?
Day or night, sometimes born in middle of night.
Yeah, and what characteristics are related?
Characteristics come out too.
No, I'm asking what, the time of day, what influence does that have on?
Same
I
This-
see,
12 animals.
okay.
Is it an energetic? Is it energy? Is it an energy?
Basic
or-
on energy.
Yeah. So that the,
Energy shows up, all kind of energy shows up on statistic chart.
All I can say is that when people come to the statistician, it's because they have no clue what's causing anything. They have no idea what to do. So they just have all this information, and all you do is you just synthesize it and hand them back the result. That's all being a statistician is. There's nothing more complicated to it.
It's not complicated. This very clean cut.
Can we write a computer program to do
You
Oh, yes.
probably could.
I think there already
I
are.
don't think in
app?
the websites they put him on.
Yeah, there are
right,
quite
right.
a few. You put your which day,
Yeah.
what time
Mhm.
you're born, and immediately come up a chart. Tells you
Chart
about
come up,
health,
right.
your family, your love, your wealth, everything.
But if you use a computer, it doesn't have
Unless you're a
block
Zen
from
master, you never
the eighth
read the
consciousness.
chart.
Different.
But the time
Correct.
of birth is much before the doctor takes you out. It's the birth of time is when you're born inside or when the doctor takes you out.
Well, you can, the physicians, they change the time too.
Yeah, so I think the real birth time is when you're born
Yeah.
inside.
Even the changes, you can figure out by this.
Okay.
Not depends on this. Not depends on 12 causality. 12 causality is hallucination, basically. That let you know that that's by enlightening. No causality but greatest consequence you get it. That's enlightening. No meaning but the sincerity meaning comes out. That's enlightening, yes. That's enlightenment means basis on 12 causalities. If you 12 causality not necessary, throw it away, that means you don't know genuine, bone structures. Body has bone structures.
Right, it's like those people when they take a math test and they forget the answer, so they just try writing all this other stuff and they don't know. So
Unless,
then they fail
the,
the test.
and the proved, the professor proved to give you A+, but they don't prove you got an F. Depends on where you study. Numbers all belong to nothingness, zero. Zero to more than one called plus. You -1, less than the zero. First number, minus number, which way you belong. When you get this chart, you can figure out. Get it? Mice ox is called bad. Bad means not necessarily throw away. Bad means when you go hell or heaven, you stay in hell, how to get on heaven. That's your child to tell you. When you got sickness, prescription, how to get over prescriptions. That's borderline. Yeah. And the tiger means called power. Someone is going to go click in the websites, bring in the characters that tell animal.
I don't have a cell phone like that.
We'll do next week. Take a summary homework.
We have Wi-Fi here.
No, no Wi-Fi. In fact, it's really unusual.
We
It
have
doesn't seem
Wi-Fi.
like this thing generates Wi-Fi, but it didn't actually work in here. It sounded kind of strange that way. So I don't think there's going to ever be any Wi-Fi.
I have computer. If we had Wi-Fi, we'd get on right now.
I
Yeah,
remember.
computer websites they might
Yeah.
already there. You want to bring in next
We
week?
need Wi-Fi.
They want you to print and bring it in.
You can save it.
And bring it
Save
in.
You can print it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see.
If
I'm
you
not here
could,
next week.
if you bring one, I don't have to write this.
Jim
Just
will
do
do
it.
it. Yeah, Jim. I'm not here next week.
Do what? Do
Print
what?
out the characters.
Huh?
Characters.
Bring out.
Print out the characters.
Otherwise, I write for you.
Oh, I see. From the. What? Yeah, sure. I think I can.
We can do both.
Bunny. Bunny means wave, right?
Means what?
Wave.
Wave?
Wave. Water wave. You put in the one stone, calm water, waves come up. And the one bang is sounds waves, wind waves, all the waves. Get it?
Like the rabbit jumping.
Bunny means wave.
You mean
Characteristic means.
instability in that sense?
Well, bunny hopping, we call it.
Hopping.
Yeah, hopping means a wave,
Okay.
the ocean wave,
Mhm.
the river waves,
Mhm.
we call the creek waves,
Mhm.
and you pond waves, all the waves.
Mhm.
Or sounds the same thing.
Mm.
Or taste waves, taste too strong, it's mild wave. Or smell waves too. That's too strong things, knock me down. That's waves, everything. The wave means cause and effect. Yeah, that's the wave called. And you can click or the websites, you look at who put him on, depends on who put him on, that's correct or wrong. Even Chinese master that put him on, sometimes they don't do right, make wrong.
I haven't seen any Zen master did that part. Once we
Every Zen
describing
master,
the
yeah.
characters of the channel.
Korean Zen master study this.
Study this. Okay.
Yeah, because person you see later, introducing person, personality, all those, their spirits and face, the
Right.
five senses there, you can read right away this. And that person, well, sooner or later, against me or against you or something, to fight over, and it could disappear in the highway, one disappeared the sunlight, storm waves disappeared. You can tell them come out. We call this cause and effect. Causality means 12 causality. You going to bring up next week? I could continue.
Continue.
Suppose, Andy, you'll have to
Yeah,
guide
could-
me what I'm doing.
Could you continue to do a few more so we
Please,
can understand?
please continue.
Yeah.
A few more.
Please
Okay.
continue. It, regardless of the program, if it's not eighth consciousness, right? I mean, the computer blocks you from eighth
Oh,
consciousness.
if they put them in specific character, they wouldn't be right. The dragon means it's very we call it polite. Polite, three girls together. Chinese character, three girls together.
Polite.
Yeah,
In the old
Maybe.
days, maybe.
You mean delicate or?
huh?
Proper or proper?
It's polite.
Polite.
Good. How that look like?
It depends on who. That's why in the masters they promote their character. Sometimes they're not correct, but whole 4 of them will come out right.
I'm still trying to get an understanding of what's going on here. Are we saying that if you have this information about an individual's birth, you can predict certain highlights in that lifetime? Is that what we're saying?
Statistic karma life.
Could we do an example with someone here? Maybe not now, but I mean,
Okay,
who wants to?
doesn't matter. Well,
I'll volunteer. I'll
Steve,
volunteer.
all right,
Not
we
afraid.
anybody.
Steve,
Okay.
give
Well,
me your
it
birth
doesn't matter.
information.
Also, we don't have the 10,000 characters. The calendars.
Hmm.
Calendar will look at your birthday, what sign it is, and what time you're born. You know what time born?
Around 11:55, 56 in the
What
evening.
hospital says so, or your mother
My
says.
mother told me.
Your mother. That's more correct. Hospital written, birth certificate
Maybe
sometimes is
accurate,
wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's got to be
It
correct.
was right before midnight.
And that time is one of the signs come out. As you read that, four kind of characters come out, and you figure out how to figure out that one. Once you get it, I show you how to read it, how to figure it, and then you can tell people.
So you need a 10.
It's not necessarily fortune teller, but it's that person less than 30 you're going to have, depends on prescription. Yeah, depends on, you have no job, so it depends on your, poverty. Yeah. What one would desire was, I want to have married that girl, but that girl someone else took it already. You have a substitute, another girl. That kind of come out.
So
It's like knowing in a movie how you've been cast, what your character is,
Yeah,
and then you
because
can
action,
work with
yeah.
that.
Mostly the code, not written like, but action-wise.
We could make a lot of
Hollywood,
money
yeah.
with this.
More than Hollywood. This is nice.
It's interesting this should come up because in Bethesda, these psychics and fortune tellers are popping up. In the last 2 or 3 months, 3 or 4 of them are there with storefronts and everything. Psychics.
Just not psychic.
People are going to
Just
them,
not
yeah.
psychic. We call it Nirvana. Nirvana means transmitters. You know transmitter?
Yeah,
Power transmitters.
yeah.
Strong power comes transmitting right power into the homes.
Mhm.
When you plug in, this one plug in right power, therefore it works. That's Nirvana. Another means transmitter. Another means switch on off. Switch.
Mhm.
Nirvana means another lock. Laka means number lakas, where you cut the genuine
Mhm.
key lakas.
Mhm.
That's Nirvana means. Nirvana means a lot, but that Nirvana has no nameable, therefore no nameable.
Mhm.
Therefore Nirvana has no forms, no anything. But Nirvana daylight. That daylight means correct. Heaven light means that's not correct.
Hmm.
Emperor heaven light, of course. that's a cybers, according to Huayan Sutra. Huayan Sutra written that, yes.
Mhm.
Maya, Lady Maya means Sakamuni Buddha's mother.
Lady Maya?
Lady Maya means Maya lady. Yeah, that's Sakamuni mother's name, and she was, heaven light, because she was that Sakamuni Buddha born from her.
Mhm.
Therefore, heaven light. Heaven light is not correct.
she was a god from the
Eh?
Dalicheng, right? She was a god from the Dalicheng, is that right? She was the god from Dalicheng, then she transformed
This-
here before.
Usually, one who doesn't know the definition of God, they usually say heaven light is the emperor of heaven light is main thing. They think
Mhm.
that's not correct. Yes,
Mhm.
that's you gotta be operates God as well as heaven as well as hell. They're eating.
Buddha's mother was a Hindu, obviously, right? She must have been a Hindu.
Hindu.
Yeah,
Why Hindu?
Indian. She was Indian.
Well, in Brahman, called Brahman.
Brahmin, okay.
Paramon is,
But
Atmas. Buddha says there's no such thing as Atmas.
Atman,
You got a Atman, you got a Aparis.
I studied a lot of this a long time ago, okay?
Not a long time, this time you're studying.
All right. I'm studying it right now. No, but Maya is loosely illusion, but more deeply it's measured reality. Like
Hallucination,
formula.
but there's a
Hallucination.
yeah. They call it heaven lady. Heaven lady means another hallucination. Not
Another
real.
yeah.
No
Sky
such thing.
woman.
Except your consciousness, there's no such things.
Right.
Perception world. If there's perception world, then you step wrong step. Your legs one step wrong. wrong side.
This is all part of samsara as well, though. Is that correct?
It's samsara.
So
Form world, mind world is samsara.
so essentially,
I was wondering, in regards to time, when people are born, what's the significance of being born at midnight, exactly at midnight?
24 hours, midnight, mice time.
Hmm.
We call it mice time.
Hmm.
The study, time study. Before time study, called no time, they called heaven time, called kalpa.
Hmm.
Get it? Unless you know there is time, there's no time, you gotta know both of them. If there is time, the only rednecks, form world. You know redneck?
Oh, yeah.
Drink beer, the red neck. Neck is red.
Since there's no time,
Huh?
time doesn't exist.
There's no time called kalpa.
Okay,
Kalpa.
so what's the relevance?
Eh?
What's the relevance of the chart? I mean, what you're saying is that by precise time, which
Right.
doesn't exist, that you're setting the force
Because
of the
we
individual.
have body and mind. Life matters. The life, operates your life, you gotta know hallucination, even the hallucination. Time is hallucination.
it's how to get out of hell.
You gotta get out
Right.
first.
But
Hallucination, you don't stay in it. We call the muddy branch. Muddy branch road.
If you're in a harbor, right, and you're trying to get your ship out of the harbor, and you don't have a map, and you can't see where the harbor is, you need a map.
No, not necessarily. All right, that's formal. Harbor station and the airport. People leaving.
How does this? I think I can pinpoint it. How does this jive? How does this go along with you saying that we should practice from emptiness?
Yes,
If we're practicing from emptiness, then why does any of this matter?
we need it. Emptiness with forms. Emptiness is form.
but form is only thought.
Form is emptiness means you're not gonna go with it because too deep hell.
But aren't you?
Also, form words every nanosecond change another word.
But aren't you going with form when you're doing this?
Yes,
But you say don't go with form.
Attachment.
there's time and no time go combine with this. On time we call it. That's called on time. Nirvana time we call on time. Third emptiness called Nirvana time, on time. That's what we call daylight.
Why can't you just bypass this and just practice on emptiness?
Bypass,
No, they're not.
shortcut,
Yeah. Well,
shortcut.
why can't you not practice,
No.
not use the form?
Therefore, so many people don't study. And they don't study this. They don't know it. They cheat the self. They don't know. One self doesn't know I'm in on time or no time. Either way,
Yeah.
they step on.
But assume that my existence is force.
Hmm?
It's force. It's thought.
No.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't get it. I mean, you're saying that given the four imaginary concepts of time,
It's not
sets the
imaginary.
force.
Imaginational mountain called Sumeru mountain. As much as you thought, philosophers thinking it's very hard. They're going high as much as high Sumeru mountain.
Yeah, but
Sumeru mountain means the
You
form.
guys-
But time can't exist in emptiness.
Emptiness means another like a form word. Not that same, no difference.
Because emptiness is a concept.
Right, it's a thought.
Thought means mobilize.
Yeah, so is this.
Okay.
That's the problem. I
Of
have.
course,
It's-
start from.
So why do you start here instead of getting, okay, how then get over emptiness? How do we get over emptiness then?
That's what I mean. You go ancient, you're ancient, go way up. You meet Sakamuni Buddha.
So okay, let me see if I can summarize this. So you
Your answer.
acknowledge that you're in the form world, you start here in order to get over emptiness.
Right. Myself, I got myself is 77th patriarch from Buddha Sakamuni. I received that. 77 generation go up there. The Buddha Sakamuni. That's called Nirvana Kaya called. Nirvana Kaya, that indicated to you this very clearly. That we call the ancients. What you're born, your ancient, your grandparents above. Before Kosaladi started, that is enlightened. Get it or not?
No.
I think,
I mean, it sounds like it's predetermined karma.
no.
Karma, yes. Karma.
It's definitely karma.
Predicting of karma clearly.
Based on time?
Not necessarily on time.
Well, you're using time factors.
Time goes, no time.
Is the time as a reflection of the nature of the energy?
Once you meditating, Zen meditating goes empty samadhi, the final samadhi. Final samadhi with your consciousness. They call the diamond prajna, diamond samadhi. That calls 6 paramita. Paramita means tell you go in Nirvana world, attain Nirvana world. That's why you get a basic, what form do I have? What kind of karma form do I have, your body? Not everybody has body, but some people whole lifetime stay in the hospital. Sometimes never been in hospital, even once. All different. That's why the chart come out. The statistic study means chart on and off, kind of wave. Yes.
So Master Shin, this
The
is
formal
like
is.
this is like a knowledge, right? Basically, what we're talking about.
Formal is very, very important. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
If not necessary, you are held. Dukkha comes, suffering comes. You gotta get over.
Right.
Don't stay there. That's why
Yeah.
dream world is dukkha world. Dream world. Dream world is
Suffering.
suffering world. You gotta get out. Sooner or later you wake up dream. Not forever dream.
It is useful to teaching. It is useful to stay in the
Itching is very close.
teaching the Senjan
But not
beings in
necessarily itching is
samsara.
enlightened.
Right.
Master of itching is enlightened, yes.
I think Andy and Steve are seeing time and no time in a dualistic way, rather than
You
being
could get
coming
over,
together.
over.
Get over.
Yeah, get
No, I mean, it seems like their preference is for no time. They're seeing it, either you choose between no time or time,
Mm-hmm.
and both converge, really. They come together. If
Yes,
you,
yeah.
Yeah.
Your body and mind same.
yeah,
Two.
two,
Like a railroad, two lane.
two legs,
Okay.
yeah,
Two lane railroad. If anything in inches difference,
yeah.
sooner or later derailed.
It's not about
Yeah.
denying form
Train
world, it's
up and
about,
down.
to realize our enlightened nature is not about denying form world. It's not about poo-pooing it or
It's
saying
not denying.
It's
It's
just
just
not
being-
getting caught in it. It's just not getting trapped in it,
Mm.
but not to deny it, huh?
It's not denying.
Right.
That's hallucination
Right.
called.
Mhm.
Imagination. Imagine. You look at mirror,
Mm-hmm.
there's imagine there. That's
Mhm.
imagination. They
Mhm.
gotta clean that up.
Mm-hmm.
That's called mere wisdom, mere face wisdom matters.
So I'm seeing this represents the convergence of time and no time. It comes from enlightened nature, but it also is expressed in form world. As you've said many times, enlightened nature can influence form world or emotional mind, huh? And this is an example of that. Okay.
That's start from. You start with body and mind.
Yeah.
Body and mind, like one cloud come, stay, and come to get life, and the cloud disappeared. That's it. Same, no difference. And the wind blows, the cloud moves. Cloud never cut by empty sky, empty heaven.
Yeah.
Well, cloud never be cut the sky, heaven, and the wind never be cut network. Get through, yes. Networks, websites, yes. No matter what, give cheer to you, bad things enter you, don't let your mind leak out.
So
That's because you are in Nirvana, no such thing as leaking mind.
if we look at, let's say we look at this chart, and look at the day I was born, the time I was born, the month and the year. That tells me, it seems to me to be secondhand knowledge, because I'm using a chart and it,
Not necessarily second-hand knowledge. It's worse than second-hand knowledge.
worse than secondhand knowledge. Okay.
Trash you call it.
Yes, okay.
But trash, you don't have to throw away. Recycling, come back again to you.
Well, how
When
do
you
you,
eat the drink water, you go out to pee out. Pee means not necessarily they go through another, come back to you as clean water.
so I have this information. The information tells me certain things about my life, my health, my personality, that sort of thing. How then do you use that in order to get over emptiness?
On samadhis, empty samadhis, diamond samadhis. Diamond samadhi, it like transmitters. You know transmitting? Sometimes key, on and off key. Sometimes lock. Dangerous. Children don't touch it, or someone else will. Highway is very good, free highway. And sometimes there are, sinkhole there. The car getting the disappear. Therefore, they cut them off highway.
Well, I think that Jim is right in the sense that if anything, I'm attached to emptiness at the moment. And
You got to
How
get
then-
out the emptiness. too.
how then do we practice to get over emptiness?
This one.
How do you practice to get over emptiness? What can I do?
Daylight. The empty means empty space. Empty space means sometimes dark at the night. No light. To light. Western sunset. Western sunset west.
Mhm.
That sunset, you look at it, observation of the sunset, and the sunset like a drum. Do not move your consciousness, and observe sunset as drum. Drum means beating, right? Make sounds. That drum sooner or later turn into drum sounds, turn to cold drum. Orchestra and the drum going. That's the main things drum is. And then that's Nirvana daylight means. You gotta practice that. Whatever you're seeing in front of you by eyesight, that your mind matters. That mind matters in order to get over sunset of the west side sunset drum-like. Imagine you never lose it. The image of the sun.
The image of the sun setting.
Yeah, right. And then you practice more, turn into daylight. That's how much you're happy about that once you get it there. You don't get it, but how much you got doubting about yourself. Doubting,
Mm-hmm.
I doubt what that is. I don't trust my mind to the doubting is the worst kind of in the ox. Doubting. Koan study, they ask for pure doubting.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really bad. Take you at a really bad word. But because there is mind, you're hooked. If there's no such a time there, you don't have to hook with there. But sun drum, west side sun drum, same thing. That's imagination, turn into in daylight.
Are you suggesting that we use that as an image while we're meditating?
That's right, no question. There's imaging. In the mirror, you look at your image in the mirror. Until that image disappeared, you observe it. We call it observation, wisdom. When the wisdom come out, no more image there.
No more mirror.
Only light, mere face light. That's number one. The we call the greatest enlightenment.
Let me take another path. So what you're saying here is that if reality, if emptiness is reality, it just is. It's like
No, emptiness means half and half.
I know, but
Half enlightenment, half not enlightenment.
I don't
because you lose your consciousness into your five senses. Like
okay, but I don't have to rationalize who I am. I just am.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying here, if I understand this, is that there's a preset program of karma.
Yeah, like your birthday, when you birth in this world, bodily birth, the form birth. Therefore, the child started.
But that's different.
Forward, yes.
That's
But
different
mind-
than individual karma in working on your own karma, because you're coming in a preset pattern. That's preset.
Yeah, you can tell preset, but
It's part
preset
of
is
it.
not necessary. Preset
Yeah, it's part of it. It's only part of it. It's not in the.
part of not
It's not entirely
50-50 called 50-50.
I think, Andy, you both am, and you am Andy too. You have this pure amness, but I think
And
what-
means being.
huh?
Mhm.
And
Being
Right,
means
being.
and. And means being.
and means being.
Yeah,
So
just
there's
form.
being,
Yes.
and then there's being Andy, which is set into motion by the circumstances of the physical birth of Andy. In other words, this prescribes a possible path of cause and effect that the Andy story is going to take. So Andy is both pure being and light nature, amness, and this Andy story that's unfolding in form world as triggered off by this.
Same.
Yeah.
Can I-
But I would say it's I wouldn't say this, because you're sort of leaving two. I mean, there's only one me. The other Andy is a false perception that I have that I exist. Okay, and that's sort of the problem I'm having with this is, okay, so there's
So just don't think about more than that. Just one consciousness.
there is only one for me.
There is one, right?
Right.
You proved that, right?
Yeah.
That one consciousness, in order to be enlightened, what to do?
Yeah, that's the one consciousness. The rest is not reality. That's one of the problems I'm having with this.
This is
Because-
you.
That's
If there is one consciousness, there is I am. I am. It's formal.
Yeah, but what you're saying is this is part of emptiness, not my consciousness.
When the consciousness means there's an unconsciousness too.
Right.
Shadow. Here's the form is there's shady. Both of them, the two, always. There's two gotta get over. In order to get over, start from emptiness first. Emptiness first, there's the form or the karmas. There's Nirvana forms. That's forever. Because there's no Nirvana, there's no hallucination, no shadows, no such things, anything, except daylight.
So what?
Well, I was going to. Can I maybe try to a different way, a slightly different way? That it's not so much this isn't so much a prescription as it is an expression.
It's not prescription.
It's not a prescription. It's an
chart.
expression. It just the karma that you have causes you to be born on that particular day, with that particular time, with that particular month.
And we
Is that-
this chart telling you, my availability
yes.
to enlighten or
Yes.
not comes out. Before enlighten, you gotta lose your form mode.
But I think I'm looking at it more as an expression as opposed to a prescription. Then
So, can we understand it from three bodies? The Dharma body, which is enlightened, the Buddha nature. Then Nirvana
Dharma.
body, exactly what you described here. shows
Dharma
up in
nature,
front of
Sambhava Kaya,
being.
Nirvana Kaya, three
There's a
bodies.
karma associated with that. So it doesn't conflict with each other.
No, doesn't
Exactly.
connect
That's
it at all.
That's where the characters of triple emptiness shows up. Really, doesn't matter. I don't care. The form of emptiness doesn't converge. It doesn't
So
exist.
still emptiness
at
you
all.
gotta get over. In order to
Right.
get over emptiness, the enormous
Mhm.
practice, study part, stay in and Dharma Samadhi. In order to that, you have ability or not. The statistic chart is telling you.
So
Because
those of us,
I have too much prescription hang on in my pocket,
Mhm.
so therefore you cannot ability. Also, I'm too poor body, unable to have time to practice. I gotta go tail of work.
so those of us born in the ox that are in hell.
Not necessarily hell. It's bad, cold bad.
Okay, well,
Not good.
not-
Bad means not good.
okay, so not a good start there.
No. Bad means there's good. Use it.
Yeah, good comes with it.
All right. Or duality. It's all duality.
Yeah, right.
The duality how to get over. You start from emptiness. There's a final consequence, and no cost is started. The final consequence come out. No meaning comes from sincerity. Consequence come out. Also, no acting come out. Sincerity acting come out. That's what it is. Google the right action. Right action. The Hollywood is the right action. They make $1 billion, but wrong action they lose money so much. The same thing. We spend too much time.
That is very interesting.
It's
It's
hard
very
to
interesting.
evaluate, yeah.
Because the Oriental Karata, the always just tell the numbers all written. The signing. The lunar calendar always indicated what they start from winter, what they start from winter over, summer over, or fall comes, fall over. All those written. You look at the lunar calendar, this shows out everything. But solar calendar, nothing except the holidays.
Well, how does that really interact with the zodiac? Does it? I mean,
You know why there's a lunar calendar important? Lunar calendar, meditators observation, water observation. Number one observation is west sunset observation. Second observation, water. Water, clean water has, very clean water. Look at the bottom of lake, you can see it. That water, clean water, freezes like ice. Ice, once turning ice, the normal water leaks. Normal mind leaks, and then just turn into ice. Water turn into glass. Glass we see that there's ice water, and the glass that has a clearly you see entire the form world, beginning to end. Right, whole earth you see by glass through, and that glass through every glass has the tiny sunshine. Even nothing the glass that see outside right away, but the glass itself is like a crystal ball. Pentagon's located crystal city. That means up the glass turned to crystal ball. Crystal ball means so many lights all over, very clearly cut. And they clearly cut that lines we call on the second earth over the water over turn into earth. Earth like a glass balls, and then earth self has a sun is hitting the called the radiation energy, ozone layers. You see that. This ozone means the water, H2O, water, part of water. Water means H2O, and then that H2O in a ozone layer, there's like crystal ball. Like so many shines come out. You see star at the night star, that's the shining come to us. The same thing, the form world do that. That's therefore our body like a light frag, light and frag, plopping, but light frag. Also, our mind is like a body tree, enlightened tree. The tree means most, you see the December Christmas tree, come out in front of the White House. The Christmas tree, that means the 7 lines. Christmas tree high as 10,000 kalpas. It's very, very high. There's no difference Sumeru mountain, as much as our imagination are going up. And the 7 lines, that's called 7 days. 7 days means Hawaiian Sutra, Enlightenment Sutra, Buddha lectured, but 7 days. 7 days means earth 3 days, heaven 4 days. That's 3 times, by 3. That means 21 days. Buddha put 21 days, 9 subjects, 9 forms. That's what Hawaiian Sutra, Flower Ornament Sutra written. Flower Ornament way, United States set up this 50 state with 5 zone times, and then you go on Route 50 to merging the Route 1. They're called one is a national the museum part, and another one Route 50, Route 1 going to Annapolis, ocean part. Ocean means enlightened one's eyeball. Ocean samadhi called. And another one, Constitution Avenue and Route 50, the federal facility there. There's 3 things there. You can see. Also, Washington DC, you get the chart, northwest, northeast, southeast, 4 pieces, like 4 bodhisattvas, 4 heaven. The Hawaiian Sutra ornament sutra means this is Sumeru mountain. Sumeru mountain, and then the top here heaven. We call it 33 heaven. This 30-chan, and this in the middle of the Sumeru mountain, 4 heavens. North, south, east, west, sky. That's mean this earth belongs to south side. South side has 1 solar system, and the north part another solar system. East, west, same thing. Another was 4 solar systems, middle of Sumeru mountain. Buddha lectured there. That's news means, news media means middle of Sumeru mountain. They usually belong to a gate of the White House. They stay there. Anything what else will be happening, there's got news come out. That's news media. We call the media so news. Yeah. That's in a temple, Asian temples go in from temple gate, 4 medias there, 4 heavens there, news medias there. They know looks very wild looking. The statues are made it, the 4 heavens, and once you get in there, 8 folds, attain enlightenment way, and the way back after that, called the main shrine, the Buddha hall. That we call the greatest hero, and the American hero is whoever drowned person saved the hero. That's not hero. Otherwise they will die. They can say this hero, person death hero, samsara hero. Yeah. That's whoever saved samsara hero. Desire in the form of the emptiness. The 3 called. This is a house firing, the 3 world, in order to save from that, get out from that. The 3 bodhisattvas, bodhisattvas, their science and then we're listening, study people. The three things turn into one Tadakata, enlightenment one. Bodhisattva means all this heaven world. Another God means yes. You got an emptiness in the God, heaven and God over supreme enlightenment, therefore operates emptiness. Justice, emptiness. Supreme Court, operating emptiness. That's called Supreme, 9 members. Yeah. That's the way it's set up. The flower ornament is, enlightenment. So flower ornament, all flower, you are on a flower. You belong to them. Flower ornament, every life belongs to your spirit belong to the flower. This one, whole world, whole universe is one flower. Yeah. Yourself is.
So next week, you need a printout of the lunar calendar characters?
Lunar calendar characters.
Okay.
When you print out, I look at what I know this character same or not.
Okay, well, Jim's going to print it.
Right.
Right here.
And then I'll tell you how to read the chart.
What is my assignment exactly?
Print out
Print out.
18 or so lunar character, the summary of the
Okay,
months.
there's 18 of them?
No, make 18 copies.
Oh, make 18 copies. How many characters are there? There's 12 characters.
10,000.
12?
Characters, when you call your one character, yes.
How many characters are there? Are there really 10,000?
More than 10, 84,000 characters. Numberless called.
Well, how many do you need in order to make a?
Yeah.
12.
Well,
Just
there's
the 12.
yeah.
Just the 12.
12 months.
Okay.
So
No,
it's-
one
Because I
year-
thought you
one
said
year-
you needed the 10,000 at one point.
No,
yeah.
no. 1 year, 12 months. 12 months, I'm going to describe that. You just go to what month we are now called September or August, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Solar calendar, August means lunar calendar. This is July. Yeah.
People who want to know their fortune have to convert their
Convert
birthday from solar
self-calendar.
calendar to lunar calendar, bring to you next
Or
week. Okay.
self-whole, read the whole chart, or whole lifetime, what kind of karma do I have? The waving comes up. It shows up. Unless you know that, the people don't know their own self fortune, don't tell, and they try to tell some other people enlightenment. That's not correct.
Well, if you know that, if you end up knowing what your own karma is, or you tell us, how then do we practice on that? I'm not sure, because it seems to be secondhand information.
Once you know, you go on the physicians, what kind of disease do I have? Once you know that, you can cure it.
Yeah.
They
Oh, so
cure
it'll tell
you,
you
they're
what parts
very
of your
expensive.
organs are it'll tell you
Yeah,
organs
they
that are having
kill you.
problems.
When do you need to buy insurance? Right before you get sick. Buy insurance.
You're right, that's why.
Make a
It's
million
just
off
smart
your
wisdom, you
own.
make money. You're stupid, you lose money.
So we're not only becoming Zen masters here, we're becoming fortune tellers. Huh?
No, not.
No.
Zen Master, one of the 8,000.
Zen master is one of the 8,000?
No, Zen Master, in order to become Zen Master, one of 84,000 step going, one
Oh.
step.
Oh,
Form mode, you gotta, once you know how bad it is, you can get over. That's what I mean.
but if we put a sign up
You
there...
stick in the form mode, you never get out from General Hospital and then NIH
Mhm.
prescription, yes.
So you're saying Zen master has to be the master of form work, but in order to become master of form work, you have to be the Zen master.
All right, if you got a master form mode, master of emptiness too, both of you,
Right.
master, both of
In order to master that,
Cal-
you have to gather both of them to become the master.
Therefore, we need a new generation Zen Master all the time, yes. We are raising here. American Zen Master means,
Mhm.
Zen College means we are raising Zen Masters here. We're not just sit down purping ourselves. Yeah. In order to understanding, there is time, there's no time, both of you handle it.
But once we become good fortune tellers, we could put a sign up on the road, free fortunes told. And it will
No,
bring a
there's
lot
no
more
free.
people.
We charge a
Oh,
lot.
we charge, all right. How much do you mention?
It's still America.
They better give us their neck first.
next of kin? What did you say?
Neck.
Oh, for neck.
Form all this neck.
All right.
You gotta get over your neck first. That's called devotion. Devotion parameter is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've always wanted to bring in more people.
Oh yes.
Let the family
If
grow.
they are interested, they can come and run this. When you
But it's
study,
things like that that'll bring them in. Fortune telling.
this is more than fortune telling.
I know, but they don't know.
This is more than card telling too. We are operating card here.
We trick them now to get them down the road.
Or Jim can do better.
And then we force enlightenment on them whether they want it or not.
And we spend too much time and we get sideways. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to save them. Desires are inexhaustible. We vow to end them. The dharmas are boundless. We vow to master them. The Buddha's ways incomparable. We vow to attain it. Thank you.
Thank you. Chinese?